Hi, good morning, everybody. I wanted to share with you a little bit about one of my favorite categories, which is probiotics. In the supplement world, actually, probiotics is one of the top revenue driving categories you'll find. If you walk into any health food store, it's a major category. Usually in the refrigeration section, you'll see tons of brands of probiotics. And I'd like to maybe spend some time going through probiotics, different probiotic brands, different probiotic philosophies in terms of supplementation, which is better, which is not. Let me know if this is something you're interested in, and I'll gladly create a video on that because I think it might be worthwhile. But for now, what I want to focus on is a food item that I found super useful and I just find really interesting, and I've been hard-pressed to find anything quite like it in terms of a probiotic. So those of you who don't know, just a quick recap, probiotics are just healthy bacteria in your digestive tract, essentially, and they play a huge role in health, disease prevention, general health and well-being, for the immune function. They help fight disease. They help the immune system to work better. They help fight off bad bacteria in the body. And you know, there is this stat, I'm not really sure exactly how true this stat is, but they say, and I've read, that about 2/3 of the immune system, and I'm not sure if that's exaggerated, that seems too exact of a number, but about 2/3 of the immune system resides in the gut. And actually, that's why a lot of naturopathic doctors, when they treat autoimmune conditions in particular, they will usually treat the gut first, because it plays a huge role in helping to restore immune health in general, or to nourish or to support a healthy immune response. And that goes for inflammation as well. Inflammation is an immune response, and if you're going to be supporting a healthy inflammatory response, it makes sense that you support a healthy immune response. Anyway, the product that I really wanted to share with you today is kefir. It doesn't have to be this brand, kefir. My wife's family calls it kefir. They come from a mountainous region called Dagestan, which is in, it's very close to Iran, basically. It was part of Russia, and they sort of have like their own unique culture, their own unique language, their own unique foods, but also very much in line with that Russian sort of culture as well. And they eat kefir. When my sister-in-law first told me about kefir, I knew nothing about it, and I was under the mindset that it was bad for you. It's just high in fat, and fat is bad, and you should stay away from it, right? Like a lot of people, a lot of us think that way. But actually, this is phenomenal stuff, and I encourage you to check it out and try it for yourself. At least it has merit anyway. By the way, that's not medical advice. This is just a food. Go to your grocery store. It's like drinking milk. If you want, try it. If not, don't blame me if you don't like it. But essentially, it has this sour component. What I find really interesting about kefir is that it's dairy, but it's fermented dairy. So again, just like what we saw with wheat and bread, when you ferment or you sprout, these key trends, sprouting and fermenting, makes the wheat much easier to digest and assimilate the nutrition. And it actually changes the nutrition quite a bit. The same holds true with dairy. A lot of people have trouble with dairy, whether it be the lactose or certain proteins in there. They just have problems digesting it, and they don't feel well on it. However, a lot of those same people, not everybody, but a lot of those same people, when they consume kefir, they feel fine. In fact, they feel amazing. It's a great food. It's a fat. It actually tops my list. If people ask me all the time what snacks they should use late at night, now the real answer is you shouldn't be snacking late at night anyway. You shouldn't really be eating past like 5:36 if it's for health and awareness. If you're a bodybuilder, that's a little bit different. But for most of us, we really shouldn't be eating that late. It's just not really. It's not healthy for you at all to be digesting it late. You're supposed to be relaxing and focusing on winding down and having a restful sleep. However, this tops my list of a healthy snack option. You don't have to have much, maybe 75 milliliters of the stuff. It's like a small little, quarter cup to a half a cup of this stuff. That's it. If you want to sweeten it, one good option is a little bit, like, an eighth to a quarter of a teaspoon maple syrup or honey, but honey doesn't really dissolve, so you have to kind of warm it up a little bit, which I don't really like doing. But either way, it's amazing. You have these little sort of globules in there. I know that sounds nasty. It's not, though. It looks like the milk has gone bad, like it's curdled, but it's not. It's just this nice sour taste, but it still tastes fresh. And if you add a little bit of sweetener, like I actually do add a little bit of maple syrup, a little bit, and it just tastes absolutely amazing. What I find really interesting about kefir that I've been hard-pressed to find really anywhere, with the exception of maybe kombucha, it's possible, I'm not 100% sure, but the bacterial culture that's used is a mixture of lactic acid bacteria, okay, which a lot of probiotics are based of, by the way, that you'll find in the grocery store, and yeast. And it produces these like cauliflower type strains, okay? What's interesting is that the lactobacillus species, which are in a lot of probiotics, they produce certain compounds in the fermentation process. When they feed on the lactose, they create nutrition that was not there before the fermentation process. It's magic, right? It's like, it's truly math of 1 + 1 = a gajillion, because you're not adding anything to dairy. It's just naturally occurring bacteria and yeast. Actually, sorry, in the case of kefir, they're adding a grain. They're adding kefir grain. So they are adding that. But what happens, it's just the natural process. And what happens is the yeast and the bacteria, they consume the lactose, and they produce these compounds. And the yeast produce different compounds than the bacteria. Actually, some companies, one company in particular, they in their supplements, they double ferment their herbs and some whole foods and spices in their supplement, and they first ferment it with a bacterial culture, and then they ferment it with a yeast culture for the purpose of achieving different unique compounds. You have certain antibacterial compounds called bacteriocins. That's just one of many compounds produced by the lactobacillus. And then you have beta-glucans, which are key signaling molecules for the immune system that's produced by the yeast. These are just two examples, but there's so much more that we don't even understand, that we haven't really been able to explain yet. And so I just find, in summary, really, that kefir is a great dairy source that I personally, and a lot of people that I've met, can tolerate very easily. It has tremendous health benefits. It's great as a snack if you need to have something, if you're craving something. If you have cravings and you try a little bit of this, most probably just that tiny little bit, it'll satisfy your craving right away. Try it out if you want, and let me know what you think. It's just a great food. You can find it in most places. The brand that I have here is Good Morning Farm, because I like the description. I like what they stand for in terms of core values, but you could probably find other ones. Just be sure to watch out for ones that don't contain starches as thickening agents. You want it to be naturally thick, but some of them you sort of have to eat with a spoon, and they might be adding starches and other compounds to it. So just be careful of that. I hope this added a little bit of value. If you found any value whatsoever, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe, hit that red button down below, subscribe, so we can continue doing this. And if you have any questions, hit me up, Robert@lifelongwell.ca, Instagram, Robert Horovitz, Twitter @lifelongwell. And be sure to check out some more videos. I'd love to share more of these with you. Just have an outstanding day.